Welcome to the Albus podcast, a working man's DIY brodown. Today we're going to talk about movies that rock. My name's Aaron.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Eddie.
And today we are going to tell you some movies that we enjoy that are centered around good old rock and roll. Alex, what you got for us?
You know, one of the first things that I thought of, and the movie in general isn't all that much about music, but it's the scene in Stranger Than Fiction where he sees the guitar.
The Will Ferrell movie?
Yes.
Great
Seen
movie.
that one in a while.
Great
But, like,
movie.
Yeah, it's a
But
pretty
like,
good movie.
but the part where he's at the guitar shop because he's always aspired to play guitar. Because he's been working for the Internal Revenue Service his whole life.
Yeah.
And he's like, breaking out, taking risks, and goes in the guitar shop and like this old kind of beat up seafoam green guitar, and it spoke to him. It's a pretty epic scene.
So for you, what does that movie, or that scene, I should say, what does that do? Kind of lights the fire, show some inspiration?
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when, just as witches and mages have their familiars, musician,
Yeah.
having that instrument that, like, you're tethered to, it's a special thing.
I can see that.
Also, another scene along those lines that I think of is in Tenacious D's Pick a Destiny
Great movie.
when when Jack Black finds out about Kyle's true identity, and then Kyle's like, "Yeah, well, I spent what money I had left on this guitar for you." And the scene of him like eyeing that guitar and like, oh, it's like the most perfect guitar he's ever seen in his life. Like it's
The scene in that movie that always used to get me.
you know what scene I'm talking
Oh,
about,
yeah,
right? Like when he gives
absolutely.
him the guitar,
Yeah.
and at the top it says rock.
Yep. But the scene in that movie that always used to get me, we'd be on tour and we'd watch that movie quite a bit. And there's that scene where they're trying to sneak in up on the roof. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I don't know where
Two events on
Yeah.
the roof.
they're singing.
That's what the guy was talking to shit.
That's the part where he goes,
Yeah.
shit! That scene, we must have watched that 1,000 times. Oh my God, you're right. That scene.
Against all odds, infiltrate, storm the gate. Whoa.
God, yeah. Pick a Destiny. What a great fucking movie. Oh, yeah. Eddie, what do you got, man?
What was the question again?
A movie that rocks.
With like cool music and
Yeah.
shit?
Or centered on music, cool music, anything
early-
music.
An early movie that I remember watching when I was like fucking 8, so like 88 or 89, I don't know. Like Heavy Metal. I don't know if you guys know that movie.
Yeah.
Like there's just like the music and then like the visuals with that movie is like, whoa, it was really cool.
That movie
it
was
like
kind
one
of-
of my earliest memories.
I was going to say, I
think.
feel like that movie is an underappreciated, ahead of its time visual movie.
Yeah, it was really like
Oh, for
the
sure.
animation's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like trippy, but it's still.
Who did the animation? It wasn't Bakshi, right?
I don't know who did it, but it was just like really cool and like fluid.
Definitely
like,
a
yeah.
movie.
kind of. I don't know if it was maybe a little janky. No, it wasn't janky. I haven't seen it in a while, but I
Movie's
got to watch it
awesome.
on that fucking projector that I got.
Yeah, boy.
I just love how they like spoofed it though on South Park with like, all the chicks in that movie have giant boobs.
Oh man,
Speaking of giant, the word Colossus comes to mind. The movie I'm going to mention is the Melvins Colossus of Destiny documentary.
Oh.
It's like 3 hours long. It's probably the best.
Is that the one you were watching? We were watching on the fucking way to Tennessee when we went to Tennessee.
Yeah, or way back. Yeah, way too.
I was getting worried because you were driving and like
Yeah, I had it
you were like
plugged in.
watching it and like you were smoking your vape and watching it and driving and I was just like, oh my God, are we gonna be okay?
We were. I
We
don't
were
drive.
fine.
I don't drive very fast, but
It turns out the motel was the
Yeah, no
scariest thing.
kidding.
I think.
yeah, the motel we stayed in was the scariest part
a
of the
little
whole trip.
scary.
But that movie is just, I mean, it's inspiring to see a band play their style of music and do things in a different way to your conventional norms. You know, like they do these limited releases where his wife presses certain artwork, and it's like you can
they
order
do their
those.
own shit.
Yeah. And I mean, he says in the movie, you know, like the music itself is free in this day and age. Like if you want to hear us, you can go on YouTube and find our songs. You can go on Spotify, you can go on Apple Music, you can buy it for cheap. That's not it. The stuff we're doing is for the person that's more immersive, you know what I mean? You get the handmade, one of a kind vinyl sleeve, and this I mean, just the whole movie shows how, like, you know, they started at the beginning and like they couldn't even get booked for shows and nobody got them, and they
Did you buy that on Apple?
I hack it.
Whoa. TMI,
I
bro.
probably will buy that though, because I've seen it like 8 times, and I love the backstory. You know, they go a little bit into.
I got there live at Third Man.
Oh, it's awesome!
Oh,
it's awesome.
Sounds so good.
But
Jam so hard.
But I mean, I just love their entire backstory. You know, they realized they were in a shit town. They had to get out of that shit town. They knew that the only thing that they were certain of was the music.
I mean, like, I knew Washington, right? Weren't they in Washington?
Yeah, he's friends with Kurt. He's the one that introduced.
I thought, like, so, like, I mean, were they from Aberdeen then?
They're
originally?
outside of Aberdeen, but they
Like
went
Olympia
to they went
or
to
some-
school at the same school.
Yeah.
But I mean, they talk about, and I mean, this documentary just has so many heavy hitters in it, like Chris Novoselic. They've got Matt Pike. They've got Mudhoney guys. They've got Soundgarden guys.
That Mudhoney
Pearl
documentary,
Jam.
I think I watched a little bit on
Mudhoney
Amazon.
documentary is awesome as well.
But here's the thing: I really don't know that much Mudhoney.
Oh, you're missing
and
out.
the stuff
Outside
that they
of,
were
like,
and the stuff that they were
Superfuzz Big
showing,
Muff.
like I've never heard, and like I didn't even know what they look like, honestly.
Dude, Mark
But
Arm.
I know I've heard one of their songs though, because I got that single.
You've probably
soundtrack,
heard "Touch Me, I'm Sick."
single soundtrack.
That's probably their most well-known song, "Touch Me, I'm Sick." But I mean, that's another killer documentary. I mean, Mark Arm, one of my favorite parts of that documentary, the Mudhoney one, to digress a little, is he talks about how he became the typical rock and roll cliche where it's like all of a sudden he's doing heroin and he's like strung out on it and he's like dating supermodels and shit, and he's like, who am I? Like, this is everything I hate. And he righted the ship, and like now they do it kind of like
Are they
them.
still a band?
Yeah, oh yeah. But what's awesome about them is kind of like the Melvins. They do it on their terms, where it's like we have jobs and we have families and stuff. So now we tour when we want to. We can play wherever we want. You know what I mean? On the dates that we want. We just are organized and we book it in advance. And I really like the fact that there's a commonality between those two bands and those two documentaries, where it's like, we make the music that we make. If people dig it, great. But for us, it's therapy. That's why we do it. It's our way of being.
I mean, they're two of the most influential bands ever. Dude,
that Houdini on vinyl is so awesome.
Well, I mean, going back to Mudhoney, I mean, they have the guys from Sub Pop on there, and they're talking about like Mudhoney made Sub Pop. Like, they would have gone under if not for the Mudhoney record going huge in Europe and the UK.
Superfuzz Big Muff, right?
Yeah.
Fucking
I
A.
can't remember if it was the.
I gotta listen.
The,
I've never.
I can't remember if it was the like.
I mean that's the one that's touted the most.
Yeah, I mean,
especially in terms of influence and all that. But like,
Easy as Cake, I think it's called, or Piece of Cake is another awesome album by them. Every Boy Deserves Fudge, another great record. I mean, Mudhoney is awesome. But the thing that I guess I love about those documentaries, the Melvins and Mudhoney, is that it's like we're doing what we want to do, but we're not doing that. We're not, you see so many bands that they got sucked into that vortex, which is like, you record a record, you tour for 2 years, you record another record, you tour for 2 years, and it's like they miss their kids growing up. They don't have any friends when they come home. You know what I mean? And it's like, at the end of it, maybe they have money, maybe they have notoriety, maybe they still owe a shitload of money to the record label. And those two bands, Mudhoney and the Melvins, didn't do it that way, don't do it that way. It's more like, look, we're going to make it. The people that are going to get it, if it's good, people are going to get it. They're going to want it. And then we'll do it the way that we are capable of doing it, comfortable doing it. And that's always appealed to me, especially, at this stage of my life, is it's like, it would be wonderful to be able to say like, hey man, we're going to go out 2 weeks out of every month, the weeks that I don't have the kids on the weekend. Like that would be the perfect scenario for me. And I guess like I look at those types of bands and those movies as something to aspire to get to a point where it's like, we can book shows and do the shows, but we don't have
It'd be
to
cool
go
if
out
we
for
could
12
play some
months.
fucking shows.
Oh God, tell me about it,
Man.
So
We
what
gotta
other?
be patient.
Yeah, we do have to be
We gotta be
patient.
patient, yo.
So what other movies, musically inclined, would you say people should check out? I mean, there's a bunch. So what do you
I
got?
got one more. You
There
got
sure
one more?
are. I mean, who as a musician doesn't love School of Rock?
Great movie.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap.
Of course.
What
Spinal
do you
Tap
What do you got,
for
Eddie?
different reasons.
Transformers, the movie. If
Oh,
you like
yeah.
80s music, that soundtrack screams 80s harder than any 80s.
Is this like the Transformers like cartoon movie that came back?
Yeah.
Came out back in the day?
1986, yeah.
There's a
87,
song.
86.
There's a song that I know is
Yeah, The Touch.
"You've Got the Touch."
Yeah, you've got the touch. Yes, Stan
That
Bush.
song's amazing.
It was
Amazing.
It was. I think it was originally made for the movie Cobra.
Was it?
But
Great.
they didn't want it, so like the Transformers.
Great
movie-
song. Great song.
Like
Unbelievable
it's just
song.
such a hard ass like
Song's
a
awesome.
lot of reverb, like
Dude,
weird instrumentals.
It reminds
that
me
are,
very
like,
much of like an Eye of the Tiger type feel. Very recorded similarly, very positive, upbeat,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can do it.
But
like,
there's also some like
awesome.
crazy scenes in that movie where it's like, oh shit, like, and the music matched it, like where some like killing was going on in the fucking movie. The
You know
little
what
kids
mo-
movie.
what movie where the song is essentially the movie. Like there's obviously a storyline, but the song drives it. Do you guys remember the Tom Hanks movie? That Thing You Do? Isn't that what it's called?
Oh, no,
Yep.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
The Oneaters.
Yep.
The Wonders.
The Wonders. There's this band, they come up, and it shows kind of what would happen, I guess, in like the 50s or 60s.
For
like,
one-hit wonders.
one-hit wonders.
Which is why the name of the band is Genius.
Yeah, because the band
What was
was
the name again?
the band was called The Wonders, and originally they spelled it One.
Okay.
So people were like, "Who are the Oneaters?"
Oneaters.
And it's like, "No, we're the Wonders." And it's like they got an agent and he changed it to Wonders, and their song is catchy as shit. The drummer always had to wear sunglasses, so they had a thing, and it was like, "You doing that thing you do, breaking my heart into a million
Man.
pieces." Like you always
Keep
do.
going. Keep going.
But you doing that thing you do. Oh, such a. But Tom Hanks is like the record label guy, and he, basically the band implodes like bands did back then because he was getting them into movies and having them tour a bunch, and the lead singer looked at himself more as like an artist and wanted to cut a record, and he told him like,
What is that from, like the 90s?
late 90s, early 2000s.
Exactly, yeah. Late 90s, early 2000s.
I mean, it's got Liv Tyler in it.
Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
it. Never heard of it.
Excellent movie.
I don't think
Excellent
maybe I
movie.
have,
That Thing You
but-
Do. And it's like the drummer only becomes the drummer by chance. His dad owns like an electronics shop and he plays drums. But right before the talent show or whatever, their drummer tries to jump over like one of those toll things that you put money in, and he falls and breaks his arm. So they asked the other guy to drum, and the song was supposed to be like a slow ballad, like real boring. And rather than playing it like that, he goes boom bop bop doom
Yeah,
bop doom bop bop doom bop
Oh.
doom bop.
and his
bop,
whole
doom,
arc
bop,
is like he's a drummer who's like who's really into like jazz.
Yeah.
And
Like the singer's like too fast. He's like, dude, it just felt that like it needs to go that fast, and they just rolled with it and played it that way, and everybody starts dancing, and the song becomes
A hit.
huge.
Yep.
And the movie is fantastic.
Wow, I gotta check that out.
I mean, there's so many good movies based on music. Like you said, School of Rock, incredible movie. What's the one with?
I mean, I'm thinking of so many others. Obviously, like Walk the Line, La Bamba, about Richie
great movie.
Valens.
La Bamba,
What's the one with about the journalist that goes on tour with Jason Lee?
Oh my God!
Great movie.
I've never
Almost
watched
famous.
it. I've
Almost
never- I've
famous.
never watched it,
Oh, good movie.
Amazing.
Dude.
Yeah.
You need to watch Almost Famous
Yeah.
and That Thing You Do.
Okay.
Well, what's so cool about that is apparently it's
That's based on a real story, right?
semi-biographical about like what's his name, James Crow
Is that what it?
or Cameron?
Cameron
No,
Crowe.
no,
Cameron Crowe.
No,
Cameron
He's
Crowe
the one that
Cameron
made
Crowe.
the
Cameron
movie.
Crowe, not James Cameron. Cameron Crowe.
I thought he was the one that did the movie.
Wait, the movie The Crow?
No,
Bro?
Cameron
Oh,
Crowe.
another great
No,
music
Crow, bro.
related
Oh,
movie.
The Crow.
The Crow, unbelievable music.
That
related
soundtrack
movie.
was awesome.
I own
Fuck
that.
yeah.
yeah.
I had it on tape.
God, me too. Tape and then I bought it on CD.
Yeah.
Can't Rain All the Time.
Oh my God, so good.
9 Inch Nails.
The Cure.
Pantera. The
It's
Cure.
fucking Rollins band.
Rollins band. I think was Rage on that.
There's a track on there that I love, and it's by this band. I mean, they talk about one-hit wonder. They had one of like the main like scenes in the movie,
STP's
like,
Big Empty was on there.
Ooh, was
but
it?
like,
Great song.
yeah,
Yep.
that, oh,
Great
man. Good
song.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
but the one band that plays on stage in that movie with the female singer, I think the band's name is Medicine.
I do not know this.
Like they're
It's
called
another
like
movie I haven't seen in like 50 years.
oh, but
Oh,
like
man,
like
yeah.
I mean, the song is so good and so 90s.
I know this is totally off topic from the music thing, but can we just acknowledge how fucked up it is that the lead actor got shot in the movie and died
and
in
they
real
thought
life?
it was blanks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and he was.
Young.
I mean, he was.
What was he, like 26
I mean,
maybe?
I mean, kind of like River,
27,
kind of like
I don't
River
know.
Phoenix, like had all this potential, and
I mean, just unreal.
Remember that band,
let
River
alone the
Phoenix?
son of Bruce Lee. Jesus Christ!
I mean, that's out of this fucking world. Airheads. Nobody's mentioned that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Pip ain't farting on no snare drum.
I ain't farting on no snare drum.
The Lone Rangers.
Brendan Fraser.
What's wrong with that? Well, there's 3 of you. You're not exactly lone. The dude from Spinal Tap is the record guy. The lead singer.
Yeah.
The guy with the ponytail.
Michael McKean.
Yeah, is that his name?
Is it Michael McKean?
I don't want us to get in trouble, but like, this is the song I'm talking about from The Crow, where they're playing on the stage. Yeah, wait for it. Well, like he's upstairs.
Now
killing
that you're
people and
talking
shit.
about bands playing, wasn't it White Zombie playing on stage in Ace Ventura 1? When he goes in to
Cannibal
see...
Corpse.
Was it Cannibal Corpse? Okay.
Cannibal Corpse.
That's right. That's right. When he goes
Yeah.
to see Mandingo, knocks on the door, and he's like, New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white? God, I can never remember that.
From what?
White?
Ace Ventura.
Hey, Mandingo.
Also, another movie I haven't seen since it came out.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
no, like since they showed it on Comedy Central. 100
I feel like
times,
there's a movie
20
that...
years ago.
What movie was White Zombie on stage for? I know there's a movie where White Zombie was on
Yes.
stage.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck. Is it Airheads?
Maybe it is Airheads. Now that you said that. Yeah, it's Airheads. Another reason that movie's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And then I was
No,
thinking
that's Super Beast, bro.
I would play my drums underwater, do a drum solo underwater.
Underwater.
Yeah, he mentions doing a drum solo underwater.
Oh, that kind of reminded me of what the fuck is that metal one? It was on Adult Swim.
Metalocalypse.
Yeah, where they recorded underwater.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Oh man, it was so crazy. So everything was just recorded. like
No,
dropped some of it.
I mean like the creator Brandon Small, who did home movies. The fact that he did that show, and not only that, but like play
He did
guitar.
home movies.
He was the one that created home movies, and then he went on to do Metalocalypse. And not only did he like create the show, but he played guitar and I think did vocals for it.
You know what
Yeah, he did play
documentary
guitar.
just came out that I'm mentioning because I know Alex is a big fan of him, and I heard the documentary is fantastic. It's like 200 hours of unseen personal footage.
Frank Zappa.
No, Blind Melon.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah,
Where's
that's.
that at?
It just came out like last year. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, only like 3 quote unquote complete albums, self-titled Soup and Nico, but even Nico's like composed stuff that he did on like answering machines, but
I mean, there's so many good movies.
Without a doubt, one of my favorite bands
Yeah, well,
ever.
we need to see that documentary then.
And it's just one of those things. It's like what could have been.
Yeah,
that's a great thing to talk about. What could have been. You
well,
know,
next time we can get into the what could have been.
Jesus,
if
Jimi Hendrix was
we're not
alive,
even mentioning
what he would have done.
We're not even mentioning movies like Rocket Man that came out, Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, great.
Bohemian Rhapsody was pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
I thought they were great. And it
I
let me
thought Rocket Man was good.
Yeah,
and I thought the dude that
Haven't
played
seen it.
Elton John was fantastic.
That's the guy from the Kingsman. Or
Yeah,
something.
I love the Kingsman.
Edgerton? No.
It's some name like
Eggsy.
Eggsy, yeah. Unless that's the character, not his actual name.
No,
a
I'm trying to
character.
think of the actor's name.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I mean, so many movies that have a music, whether it's the soundtrack, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a story about. I mean, Jesus Christ, The Dirt was incredible.
That was a cool fucking
Motley
movie.
Crue's The Dirt. I've watched it like
Machine
5
Gun
times.
Kelly was Tommy
Fucking
Lee.
fantastic.
I've heard good
He was
things.
really good.
Dude, I've watched it like 5 times. If the opening scene doesn't hook you, where Tommy makes the girl whoosh,
Oh fuck, I forgot.
in the opening scene is they're just kind of like introducing how they used to throw these crazy parties, and then Tommy
And
like
fucking Ozzy. is
Tommy
awesome,
gets like
too.
pulled by the hair into a girl's crotch, and then he gets pulled out as she shoots a fountain, and that's the opening scene. Fucking incredible.
I've only seen it once.
You need to watch The Dirt. It's on Netflix.
Is it a documentary?
No,
It's-
dude, it's just like
it's
a
a-
Motley Crue.
It's a Motley Crue movie. It's
Oh,
like
it's a
Yeah.
movie about
it's
Motley
like a
Crue?
reenactment.
Machine Gun Kelly
Oh,
plays.
okay.
Yeah, Machine
Tommy
Gun Kelly's
Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah,
It's like a reenactment of Motley Crue's everything.
yeah.
Interesting.
Like
Fantastic.
based off of their
Yeah.
book and shit.
Yeah.
Like
I
when
mean, it
Ozzy,
is.
Like,
it is.
What does Ozzy do? He snorts ants or
Ozzy
something?
snorts ants and licks his own pee up, and then licks up Nikki Sixx's pee
Yeah.
off the side of the pool.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Dude,
incredible.
it's a pretty cool fucking
All
movie.
of this while wearing a dress, I might add. And an old lady that was sitting poolside, he goes, "Need another drink?" And he turns around and pulls up the dress, and he's naked under it, and he's got a fucking like $10 bill in his ass crack, and he goes, "Drinks are on me."
Dude, I didn't know Nikki Sixx like wrote all the like music and lyrics and shit. For
I
all
know,
That's
that was-
crazy.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Like I said, The Dirt is fantastic. In fact, I say you've only seen it once. I've seen it, I think, 3 or 4 times. You've never seen it. Before this night ends, that's what we should do. We should
I've
jam.
heard good things.
We should jam and then throw The Dirt on the massive screen
And I was
that
wrong.
you have upstairs.
Egerton, not Edgerton, because that's
Well, I knew it was egg, but I thought it might be Eggy because that's what they call him in the
Eggsy.
movie.
Yeah.
Eggsy, yeah. Couldn't remember if that was the character or
Egerton
his
is,
real name.
Egerton is his
So.
last name. Yeah.
Anyways,
Sorry, it was bothering me.
it's all good. This is the Albus Podcast, episode numero uno on Wednesday, February 17th. We're going to try to do this every week. I'm Aaron. That's Alex.
I'm Alex. I can
He's
introduce
Eddie.
myself.
That's Eddie. He's Eddie.
Dude.
We appreciate you taking the time to listen or watch.
Dude.